There's one Machiavellian rule so dangerous it was buried for centuries, and once you learn it, you'll never see power the same way again. They didn't want you to read The Prince. Not really. They assigned it in school, turned it into an academic exercise, stripped it of its venom. Because if you actually understood what Machiavelli revealed, you'd stop playing by their rules. You'd stop being the obedient one, the moral one, the one who loses while pretending virtue is enough. What Machiavelli wrote wasn't philosophy. It was a manual, a blueprint for those willing to see human nature without the comforting lies we tell ourselves. The forbidden rule isn't hidden in complex language. It's hidden in plain sight, ignored because accepting it destroys the fantasy you were raised on. The fantasy that people are rational, that loyalty is real, that being good protects you. Machiavelli saw through it all. He watched empires rise and fall, not because of virtue, but because of one simple truth. Power doesn't care about your morals. It cares about who understands the game and who's still pretending it doesn't exist. You've felt it, haven't you? The disconnect between what you were told and what actually happens. You followed the rules. You were kind, patient, fair, and you watched others, less moral, less kind, take everything you thought would be yours. That's not injustice. That's the rule in action. The one Machiavelli spent his life studying. The one that separates those who command respect from those who beg for it. You're about to learn what they kept from you. Not because it's evil, but because once you know it, you can never be controlled again. Machiavelli didn't write for the masses. He wrote for those willing to see the world without the filter of morality. You've been conditioned to believe power comes from virtue, from kindness, from fairness. That's the lie they fed you to keep you weak. Real power doesn't bow to ethics. It bends reality to its will. When you strip away the illusions, what remains is naked survival. The rules you follow, they were designed to control you, not protect you. They told you honesty wins. They told you goodness gets rewarded. But look around, who actually rises? It's not the virtuous. It's those who understand human psychology at its core. Machiavelli saw it centuries ago. People don't act on principle, they act on fear and desire. Control those two forces and you control everything. The moment you accept this, your weakness begins to die. The moment you reject it, you stay trapped in a system that exploits your compliance. Most people spend their lives chasing approval, following rules written by others. They call it integrity. I call it submission. Machiavelli understood that respect isn't given. It's taken, not through violence, but through calculated dominance. You don't need to be cruel, but you must be willing to act without hesitation when the moment demands it. Emotion clouds judgment. Sentiment is a leash. The forbidden truth isn't that power corrupts, it's that most people are too afraid to wield it. You were taught that people are rational, that they weigh facts, consider evidence, make logical decisions. That's the first lie that keeps you powerless. Humans don't think, they feel, then justify. Every choice they make is rooted in emotion, then dressed up as reason. You see it everywhere. The person who argues with data but decides with their gut. The one who claims logic but operates on fear. Rationality is the mask emotion wears in public. This is why you lose arguments even when you're right. You present facts, they reject them. You offer proof, they dismiss it. It's not because they're stupid. It's because you're playing the wrong game. You're trying to win with logic in a battlefield ruled by psychology. The moment you understand this, you stop wasting energy on rational appeals. You start speaking to what people feel, not what they think. And that's where control begins. I learned this the hard way. I used to believe in the power of truth, that presenting reality would change minds. It doesn't. People cling to their beliefs like survival depends on it, because emotionally, it does. Their identity is wrapped in their worldview. Challenge it, and you become the enemy. But tap into their desires, their fears, their need for validation, and suddenly, they listen. Machiavelli knew this. Manipulation isn't about deception. It's about understanding that emotion is the real currency of influence. Facts are just tools you use to trigger the right feelings. If you want to move someone, forget the facts. Facts are sterile. They sit there, lifeless, waiting for emotion to give them meaning. You can present the most undeniable truth, and it will bounce off a closed mind like rain off stone. But touch someone's fear, their pride, their need to belong, and watch how quickly they shift. This is the principle of influence. People don't decide with their heads. They decide with their hearts, then recruit their minds to defend the choice. Every persuasive force in history understood this. Advertisers don't sell products. They sell feelings of power, sex, belonging. Politicians don't win with policy. They win by making you afraid of the other side or hopeful for a dream. Machiavelli saw it in his time, and nothing has changed. The man who controls the emotional atmosphere controls the room. You don't need to be the smartest. You need to be the one who understands what people crave and what they fear. This is why weak men lose even when they're right. They bring logic to an emotional war. They think being correct is enough. It's not. I've watched people with flawless arguments get destroyed by someone who simply knew how to trigger the right response. A well-placed question, a moment of silence, a tone that implies dominance without saying a word. That's influence. It's not about what you say. It's about how you make them feel when you say it. Master that, and facts become irrelevant. You become the one who shapes reality. Loyalty is the most romanticized lie you've ever been sold. You think people stand by you out of love, honor, principle. They don't. They stand by you because it benefits them. The moment that benefit disappears, so does their loyalty. This isn't cynicism, it's observation. Machiavelli understood that every alliance is transactional at its core. People don't betray principles, they protect their survival. And survival always comes first. You've seen it yourself. The friend who vanished when you stopped being useful. The partner who stayed only while you provided something they needed. The colleague who smiled to your face and undermined you behind your back. They weren't evil, they were human. Humans are wired for self-preservation, not sacrifice. Loyalty without incentive is a fantasy. It exists in stories, not in the real world. The sooner you accept this, the sooner you stop expecting devotion and start engineering it. This doesn't mean loyalty is impossible. It means loyalty is a result, not a given. People are loyal when staying loyal serves them better than betraying you. Fear of consequence, hope of reward, respect for your power. These are the pillars of real loyalty. I stopped trusting words the day I realized actions only follow incentives. When someone tells you they're loyal, ask yourself, what do they gain by staying? What do they lose by leaving? Answer that, and you'll know if their loyalty is real or just a mask they wear until a better option appears. If loyalty is transactional, then you need to treat it like a transaction. Strategic loyalty means you give to those who give back. You invest in relationships that produce returns, and you cut off those who drain you without offering value in exchange. This isn't cruelty, it's survival. Every moment you spend on someone who doesn't reciprocate is a moment stolen from someone who would. Machiavelli knew this. Generosity without boundaries is weakness in disguise. You've been taught to be loyal no matter what, to stand by people even when they abandon you, to give endlessly and call it virtue. That's how they keep you powerless. One-sided loyalty isn't noble, it's self-destruction. The person who takes and never gives isn't your friend. They're a parasite, and parasites don't stop feeding until you're empty. Strategic loyalty means you recognize this pattern and act accordingly. You don't wait for them to change. You cut the connection and redirect your energy toward those who earn it. Here's the test. Look at the people in your life. Who shows up when you need them? Who disappears when there's nothing to gain? I stopped wasting time on the second category years ago. The moment I did, my circle became smaller but infinitely stronger. Reciprocity is the foundation of every lasting alliance. You don't need many allies. You need the right ones. Reward those who respect the exchange. Eliminate those who exploit your goodwill. That's not coldness. That's strategy. And strategy is what separates those who survive from those who get consumed. Your reputation is the shadow you cast before you enter a room. It decides how people treat you before you say a word. Machiavelli understood this. A man's image is more valuable than his actual power, because perception shapes reality. If people believe you're dangerous, you don't need to prove it. If they believe you're weak, no amount of strength will convince them otherwise. Reputation isn't what you are. It's what others think you are. And that's the weapon most men never learn to wield. You've seen it play out 1,000 times. The person who commands respect without raising their voice. The one who walks into a room and shifts the energy without effort. That's not charisma. It's reputation doing the work. People already decided who you are before you arrived. They heard the stories. They saw the results. They felt the influence of those who spoke your name. This is why control over your reputation is control over your life. Lose it and you lose everything. Guard it, cultivate it, weaponize it, and you become untouchable. Most people let their reputation form by accident. They react to situations, make emotional decisions, and wonder why no one takes them seriously. I learned early that reputation is built through consistency and consequence. Every action is a signal. Every word is a message. If you respond to disrespect with tolerance, you signal weakness. If you enforce boundaries with precision, you signal dominance. People remember patterns, not moments. Build a reputation for being cold, calculated, and unmovable, and watch how quickly others adjust their behavior around you. Reputation is the invisible force that bends the world to your will. Building a reputation isn't about being loud. It's about being deliberate. Every move you make should reinforce the image you want people to believe. Start with silence. Talk less. Let your actions carry the weight your words can't. When you do speak, make it count. No explanations, no justifications. Just clarity and finality. People respect those who don't need approval. The moment you stop seeking validation, you start generating curiosity. And curiosity is the first step toward respect. Control your reactions. Never let emotion dictate your response. When someone tests you, they're not attacking, they're gathering data. How you react tells them everything. Explode, and you signal weakness. Stay cold, and you signal control. I've watched men destroy their reputation in seconds by losing composure. And I've watched others build empires by never flinching. Machiavelli called it the art of appearing unshakable. It's not about suppressing emotion, it's about choosing when and how to reveal it. Master that, and you become unpredictable. Unpredictability is power. Surround yourself with those who elevate your image. Cut ties with anyone who diminishes it. Your associations speak louder than your achievements. If you're seen with the weak, you're perceived as weak. If you're aligned with the powerful, you inherit their gravity. This isn't shallow, it's strategic. Read The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Study how historical figures weaponized their image. Watch how CEOs, politicians, and influencers craft their public personas. Then apply it. Build your reputation like you're constructing a fortress, brick by brick, decision by decision, until the world sees you exactly as you want to be seen. You think peace is possible, that if you're kind enough, fair enough, quiet enough, conflict will pass you by. It won't. Conflict is the default state of human interaction. Everyone wants something. Resources are finite. Interests collide. Machiavelli didn't preach war because he was violent. He preached it because he was realistic. The invisible war is always happening. The only question is whether you're fighting or surrendering without knowing it. Most men lose before they realize the battle started. They operate under the illusion that neutrality is safe. It's not. Neutrality is weakness dressed as wisdom. When you refuse to engage, others decide your fate for you. They take what you won't defend. They control what you won't claim. The world doesn't reward pacifists. It devours them. This doesn't mean you attack everyone. It means you recognize that every interaction is a negotiation of power. Every conversation is a test. Every silence is a statement. If you're not positioning yourself strategically, you're being positioned by someone else. I stopped believing in peace the day I understood that even inaction is a move. When you don't assert your boundaries, you signal they don't exist. When you avoid confrontation, you invite exploitation. The invisible war isn't loud. It's subtle. A comment that undermines you, a favor that creates debt, a smile that hides calculation. Conflict doesn't always look like aggression. Sometimes it looks like friendship. The man who sees this survives. The man who doesn't becomes a casualty. And casualties don't get remembered. They get forgotten. Machiavelli's most brutal lesson: you need two natures. The lion, raw, undeniable force. The fox, cunning, invisible strategy. Most men choose one and wonder why they fail. The lion without the fox is predictable. All power, no finesse. He charges forward and gets trapped by those smarter than him. The fox without the lion is ignored. All cleverness, no respect. He maneuvers brilliantly but can't enforce consequence when it matters. You need both. Strength without intelligence is wasted. Intelligence without strength is irrelevant. Know when to show your teeth and when to stay silent. There are moments that demand dominance. When someone crosses a boundary, when your reputation is tested, when weakness will cost you everything. In those moments, be the lion. Swift, decisive, unmerciful, but most of the time, be the fox. Observe, calculate. Let others reveal themselves while you stay hidden. The fox doesn't need to roar to win. He waits for the right moment, then strikes where it hurts most. This duality is what separates those who survive from those who dominate. I learned this watching men far more powerful than me. The ones who lasted weren't the strongest or the smartest alone. They were both. They knew when to negotiate and when to destroy, when to smile and when to cut. Invest in both sides of yourself. Build your body. Train your discipline. That's the lion. But also sharpen your mind. Study psychology, strategy, human behavior. Read The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Understand how power moves in silence. That's the fox. When you merge them, You become something rare, something dangerous, something no one can predict or control. You've been told being nice is a virtue. It's not. It's a survival strategy for the weak. Nice guys don't finish last because the world is cruel. They finish last because niceness is a mask for fear. Fear of conflict, fear of rejection, fear of being disliked. You call it kindness, but it's avoidance. You give endlessly, not because you're generous, but because you're terrified of what happens when you say no. And people sense that fear like blood in water. Being nice makes you predictable, and predictable means controllable. When people know you'll always bend, always forgive, always accommodate, they stop respecting you. Respect isn't born from agreeability, it's born from boundaries, from the willingness to walk away, from the quiet certainty that you don't need their approval to exist. Machiavelli never said be cruel. He said be willing to act without sentiment when survival demands it. The nice guy can't do that. He sacrifices himself on the altar of other people's comfort and wonders why no one values him. I used to be that person. Always available. Always understanding. Always the one who absorbed everyone else's chaos while my own needs rotted in silence. Then I realized the people I bent over backward for didn't love me more. They respected me less. The moment I started enforcing consequence, setting boundaries, and letting people face the results of disrespecting me, everything changed. Some left. Good. They were never allies. They were users. The ones who stayed, they suddenly treated me differently, not because I became cruel, because I stopped being weak. Niceness without power is begging. Niceness with power is strategy. Manipulation isn't evil. It's inevitable. Every word you choose, every tone you use, every silence you hold, it's all manipulation. The only difference is whether you're doing it consciously or letting others do it to you. Machiavelli didn't invent manipulation. He just had the honesty to name it. The world runs on influence, persuasion, and psychological leverage. Those who pretend otherwise are either lying or blind. And the blind get controlled by those who see clearly. Power isn't given to the moral, it's taken by the strategic. You think good people rise to the top? Look around. The top is filled with those who understood the game and played it without hesitation. This doesn't mean you become a monster. It means you stop pretending you're not already playing. Every relationship is a negotiation. Every conversation is a power exchange. The moment you accept this, you stop being a victim of it. You start directing it. You stop reacting to the world and start shaping it. The real manipulation is convincing you that seeking power makes you bad, that wanting control is selfish. That's how they keep you passive. I stopped apologizing for wanting dominance the day I realized weakness doesn't make you virtuous. It makes you vulnerable. Read Machiavelli's The Prince. Study Nietzsche's concept of the will to power. Understand that morality is often just a cage built by those who benefit from your compliance. You don't need permission to be powerful. You don't need validation to take control. You just need to stop pretending the game isn't real, because it is, and you're either playing to win or you're being played. This is where it ends, not with hope, with a decision. You've been given the tools, the principles, the truth most people will never hear because they're too afraid to face it. Machiavelli didn't write for the weak. He wrote for those willing to see the world as it is, not as they wish it were. You now have that sight. What you do with it determines whether you rise or remain where you are, invisible, powerless, and controlled by those who understand what you just learned. You will never be ignored again if you refuse to play by their rules. If you stop seeking approval and start commanding respect. if you enforce boundaries with the coldness of winter and the precision of a blade. The world doesn't reward fairness. It rewards consequence. It rewards those who act without hesitation when others freeze. You've spent your life being the nice one, the patient one, the understanding one. And where did it get you? Exactly where you are now. That ends today. Not because you became cruel, because you became conscious. Every moment from this point forward is a test. Will you default to old patterns, or will you operate with the strategic ruthlessness you now understand? Will you let fear dictate your choices, or will you embrace the power that comes from emotional detachment? Machiavelli gave you the map. Now walk the path. Your reputation, your influence, your survival, all of it depends on whether you internalize this or let it slip back into the noise. The choice was always yours. It still is. But this time, you know what's at stake. And ignorance is no longer an excuse. You now hold what most will never possess: clarity. The forbidden rule wasn't complex. It was uncomfortable. Machiavelli revealed that human nature operates on self-interest, fear, and emotion, not virtue. Those who accept this truth rise. Those who reject it remain victims of those who don't. You're no longer one of them. You've crossed the line. There's no going back to the comfortable lie. Only forward into the reality where power belongs to those who understand the game. But knowledge without action is just noise. You've learned the rule. Now, you need to apply it. And that starts with eliminating the behaviors that destroy your value before you even open your mouth. Most men sabotage themselves without realizing it. Small mistakes that signal weakness, that erode respect, that make them invisible. Machiavelli warned about these errors centuries ago. If you don't fix them, everything you just learned becomes useless. Watch the next video. 10 public mistakes that destroy your social value. Machiavelli warned. Don't scroll past it. Don't save it for later. You need this now. Because understanding power means nothing if you're bleeding respect through unconscious behavior. Then, write this in the comments. I refuse to be ignored. Not as a wish, as a declaration. Prove you're not just consuming, you're becoming. The war for your mind is over. The war for your dominance has just begun.